So we finished up in Yakima on Thursday morning.
Thursday, my conference was a half day, so we headed out early afternoon of Thursday.
Headed to Prosser, which is about an hour and 20 minutes outside of Yakima, away from Yakima, to the east.
Yeah, east, southeast, head out 12.
Yeah, directions are not my forte. So anyway, we headed to Prosser, and we headed, actually, to go back a couple of years ago, a friend and I, Christy, one of my best friends since high school, ended up in Prosser, staying at this lovely winery. The name is Desert Wind. And
you can see it right off of 12. Big building says Desert Wind up there.
Yes, and it is absolutely gorgeous. The rooms are fantastic. They do a lovely breakfast that they bring to your room. It's just an experience, and it's worth it. They also have some great wineries in the area. So actually, I got off track because we're not going to talk about the Desert Wind wines right now. We're going to talk about Coyote Canyon, which is actually one of my favorites in the Prosser area. It has a incredible, I don't know, I would say it's kind of like stucco Southwestern style.
Yeah. I was looking for a Coyote Canyon glass. We have one. I don't know where it is right now.
They have these like three wine tasting rooms side by side, but a lovely like shared courtyard.
It's like a hacienda.
Oh, there you go.
It's got the little wall around it, and then the arched entryway with the wrought iron gate that you walk in, and the three different quarters. These are three different tasting rooms.
Yes, and they do live music in this courtyard, and I am really dying to get there for
it's
some
right
live
off
music.
the intersection of Chardonnay Way and Merlot Boulevard.
Isn't that
in
fun?
Vintners Village.
Even more fun.
Tells you a little something about it.
Yes, I love Coyote Canyon. It was definitely my favorite. I know there's like Martinez and Martinez. We didn't make it over there. There's only so many wine tastings you can do in a day. So anyway, but Coyote Canyon is one of my favorites. One of the things that we find, this is it, what is a bonus of doing a wine trip is you come across some great case sales. So we love this Primitivo. It is a wonderful sort of medium body red.
And that's the 2015?
Yes.
Yeah.
2015.
So they're clearing out the 2015 cases they had left.
Yes, it's just a wonderful, everyday kind of good red table wine. Absolutely love it. We got a great price per bottle for the case, which is great because, again, we're buying wine to kind of last us over the next 12 months until we can make it to Eastern Washington again. Because as us Western Washingtonians know, going to Eastern Washington in the winter is really a no-go. And so anyway,
and wine tastings in the winter aren't quite as much fun as they are in the summer.
Yes, that's true too. Although I really like a good wine tasting anytime. The next one is Barbera.
That one, I got a soft spot for that. That's one
Yes.
Denise brought home from that trip with Christy.
Yes.
And she told me about it, but we couldn't open the bottle yet because we were saving it for an occasion.
Special.
I don't remember what.
We have a lot of special occasions around here.
And when we did get there and we opened up the wine, my anticipation was met with eager excitement and full satisfaction. This is a good, full-bodied red, but not so big that it drowns out anything else you're doing. You can certainly sit and just enjoy a glass. It goes well with a meal. The Barbera is one of those that's just, I knew when we drove over there, we were going to be bringing some home because it is a staple product of good red wine.
Barbera is one of those glasses I really don't want to pair with food. I really want to drink a good glass of Barbera all by itself and just to enjoy all the depth of all the great flavors that come in a good Barbera. And Coyote Canyon absolutely hits the mark when they make this one.
Their Barbera sets the bar. Barbera. For me. I just thought of that.
Yeah, that was pretty good. So anyway, last one that we got at Tempranillo, although I will say on the tastings, every single red wine was good, which is fun. And I know for me, we love to go wine tasting, and I think we've definitely made our rounds. And you don't always like every single one, and that's okay. Coyote Canyon was one of those where every single taste
Yes.
was fantastic.
There were a few on the tasting slip that were nowhere as near as exciting as the others. They were still really good red wine, but there was a Barbera waiting for me at the end of the tasting.
Mm-hmm.
So the ones that were good were nowhere as near as good as Barbera.
And I will say with every winery that we're going to feature, that was the case. Every single wine was fantastic. There wasn't any that I was like, oh, this is kind of watery, or there's really little flavor.
There have been
Everything was good.
There have been times in Woodinville where we didn't finish a taster because it was like, I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Never had that this time around.
No, it was fantastic. So the last one we're going to feature is the Tempranillo, which is so fantastic. Again, just rich, wonderful, bold red flavors. I like a good Tempranillo Barbera Tannat. Those are some of my favorite wines. And it's just a wine that is complex and just across the board, the flavor is phenomenal.
But in spite of being a complex wine, it's well balanced enough to just enjoy and not try to decipher if you want.
Absolutely.
We get a little geeky about it.
Next time around, I'm actually going to write notes because some of the scents that I picked up on some of these wines, but unfortunately I don't remember which ones went with which. But you wonderful, you get some wonderful dark red fruits, some wonderful sort of earthy tones. I think like one of them you were talking mustard, which is an interesting
like a Dijon mustard, that special deli mustard.
Yeah, so spicy notes.
Durkee's is actually the brand name that comes to mind.
It's interesting how you might pick up some baking spices or you might pick up some savory cooking spices, but it's just interesting. I love to smell the red wines and try to sort of pick out. I was trying to remember what was one of the unique scents that I was talking about. I think it was like a root beer. I think it was like a sassafras or something.
Yeah.
And it was just so much fun. And everybody picks up just a different scent in every wine. So you got to try it.
And one of the last ones we'll feature, we're going to talk a little bit about that. The different glasses and scents.
Oh, yes.
But that's for later. This video's been long enough.
Yes. Sorry if we're boring you.
Caution. Wine geeks at play.